Hi guys, and welcome back. So, today is a bit of a special video for you guys. We've got a third guest here on the channel. This is Daniel, one of my friends here from Mines. If you'd like to say hi. Hello. Alright, now the introductions are out of the way. We have decided to build the sort of house and lands and sort of bee stalls and everything like that for the beekeeper who sells his honey here at the market square. So, that's what we'll be doing here in today's episode. Well, thank you. It'd be kind of a sad beekeeper without bees, wouldn't he? But we're going to be building it pretty much right back here. We figured there's no reason for him to, go too far from home to sell his stuff. So we're going to clear this area out here and put a layout down for the building and land, and we'll be back to you in just a second. Alright, and we're back. So, if you come over here, you can see the foundation and a little bit of walls we've put together. We were originally going to go with a bit of a lighter color, almost a birch-like color for the walls, but we ended up deciding the contrast and the color coordination with the brick tower would look much better with a darker color, so we ended up going with spruce. We may end up changing this in the future. We will see what happens. Overall layout, we've got these two protrusions here in the front to add some texture. Front door right here, side door over there for him to go to his shop easier, and tower here that'll sort of stick out over the top. We were going to go with a dark roof to contrast with the lighter color of the overall building, but now that we've changed the walls, I'm thinking we may end up switching to a light roof that blends well with the foundation to really sandwich the darker color otherwise building together. You may have noticed, you may have not, but this does seem to be leaning in the direction of a darker style Southern Manor. We'll see what happens, but I think this is the feel we're going for. We'll probably have the beehives out here in the front lawn, and definitely going to have some small flower patches around for those bees as well. But we're going to get back into it. We're going to build up the walls and start working on windows and floors and some doors, and we'll get back to you here in just a second. Alright, and we're back! So we ended up doing a lot more building than we had originally planned, and a lot of designing, lots of back and forth and everything like that with colors and design, but we have got a fantastic build here for you. So we have saved the roof interior design and texturing for later, which we will continue to do in the next section, so looking forward to that. But as we continue here, we've got lots of different design for you. We've got windows. You'll see we did a similar thing as the Baker's Hut. If you've seen that video, if not, it's a fantastic one. Would recommend episode 12. But as we continue here, we've got a porch here supported. We've got a screen door and, of course, a regular door on the inside. Wouldn't want to let in the bugs, but, gotta let in the air in these warmer climates. So we've got the porch above to really connect the two protrusions, or towers, call them what you will. This is the design for how the roof's going to go. It'll go from right there to over there, and then these two guys will sort of sink into the roof. Heading inside, we've got this lovely patio here. And then if you'd like to give us a tour, Daniel, of the inside of the place.
Yeah, so over on this side we've got this nice little tower. It's going to stretch up and be just a little bit taller than the rest of the house. Then over here we have a side door, that way the beekeeper can easily head into town, make his sales. And then in here, over on the right side of the house, we've got a little chandelier as you go up the stairs to the second floor. Just kind of drooping down, that'll be connected to the roof. And then you can come out here to the porch, where you've got like a nice little overview of the forest. You can see a little bit of the town over on the right.
Fantastic, and I do want to point out the special window we have over here. This is a large circular window. Unfortunately, because of the way glass works, it just doesn't look right to put it right up next to it. So instead, we put glass in the middle, and it almost gives a reflection look. I know a couple of times both of us have looked at it and thought, wait a minute, hang on, oh yeah, we did that. I'll show you what it looks like down from below if you haven't seen it already. it looks like you're just seeing a reflection of the window frame on the window itself. And you just look at it from a bit of an angle. See how it sort of reflects off. I don't know. I think it's a cool look, and the big circular window really rounds out this side of the house facing town. Here in the next section, we're going to put together the roof and finish off the design for the tower. Looking forward to that, and I'll see you in just a second. And we're back! So, we've done a bit of work here. Got the basic layout of the roof and the chimneys on. Let's give you a quick tour. There's not really a lot to show. Roof, little protrusions here sticking out. I think it looks pretty good to have it sort of slant outwards for these two guys. You sort of see what we're talking about this being the main roof and then these two sort of coming up to it. I'll take you underneath as well. So the roof here has a bit of an extra large overhang. Felt like it was, you know, it was fitting with the house being a much larger house to have a bigger overhang. Just looks good. This was a bit tricky, but I think the pointed look on the tower just really suits it well. A little bit of an extra note, we will definitely be texturing in this in the next section, but, you know, that is the next section, so we'll definitely be giving you a tour of interiors and stuff here in just a minute. We've got these fireplace chimneys, which do go down to fireplaces inside of the house, so looking forward to showing those off. Not really a lot left to point out here, and we're going to go in, build some interiors, show you those off in just a second. Alright, and we're back! So, we've done a lot of interior work, ended up adding another chimney here for the kitchen, but I'm going to leave the tour here off to Daniel. Daniel, take it away.
Cool, so I'll go ahead and take us inside the front door right here, and we can get a look at the living room and over at this like little library music area. So we have like the main sitting area right here, where we've got like a little fireplace to sit in front of, come in after a warm day, or after a cold day to warm up. Over this way, we've got the library with a little ladder so that way you can reach those hard-to-reach books. Then over here we've got our little record collections, so that way you can play some music, jam out, have some fun. Over here we have a little sitting area if you want to hang out, play cards, maybe eat dinner, just somewhere to come down and sit for a little bit. And over by the front door we have a little coat rack in case you need to hang your coat. And in here we have the kitchen. If you'll take a look at these, at all the wood up here, we can see a whole bunch of food that's up on a dry rack. Got a little oven, some freshly baked bread, and over in the corner we've got like a little bowl, a sink to wash up your hands. Cool. So keep moving along this way. Can you remind me of whose room this is again?
This is the sort of master of the house's office space. So you've got paintings and banners, but he's also got his desk to work on records, since he's able to leave straight from his office to his little shop over there in the village town square. But this is sort of his office. It's gotten a little bit messy. He's got honey here in the corner, he's got random things on top of the shelves, everything like that.
Excellent. Well, thank you for that. And as we continue upstairs, we will see another kind of little living room area. Got another large table in case you've got a large gathering or you want to pop out a few war games, a warm fireplace to keep you warm, and a great view out of the city, out on top of the city. And then if we take a look inside this little room right here, we can find one of the bedrooms. We've got a little bed, a couple candles to keep you up at night, and an alarm clock to help get you out of bed in the morning. And with just a little bit of storage space. And then over here we have another bedroom to match, just to keep it symmetry, and if you need a guest room, there you go. Plus there's like this cute little axolotl, just as a pet, kind of in its little fish tank. And then we also have out here our little porch for a nice little overview, get a little bit of shade, a couple of plants to keep you company, and then another little sitting space. And then what I think is the last area to show off for right now is the attic. So right up the stairs over here, and through this door. Not a whole lot to see up here, mostly just a bunch of storage space, but, you know, gotta keep it tucked up somewhere, so a whole bunch of spots to store whatever it is you need to keep track of.
I will make a quick little comment as well. This is where the chimney comes up and goes up to the roof here. It goes a little bit of a slant, so it's able to be off to the side. and we do actually have a little bit of additional decoration here in the top of the tower. I have decided through the sort of the story of this town is this is like the first person to really settle this town area, so this is kind of his manor house. It's been around for generations, but this tower was one of the first parts of the house to be built, and it's sort of a warning lookout tower for the citizens. Figured this guy's probably the mayor as well, but it's still got the warning bell up here and still got a place to sit for anyone who's watching out over the town. Not sure if we toured it off in the last section. I don't think we did. There is, in fact, a sort of a honey cellar instead of a wine cellar down here in the basement as well, which I'll give a quick tour of. So, pretty straightforward. Just a couple of barrels here and some light. Not really a lot to see there. We'll lead the way back up, and then we'll go off and finish the last section of the build, texturing. So we're going to go in, primarily texture the roof areas and the tower, and then we'll get back to you to give the final tour of the building. See you in just a second. Alright, and we're back. So, this is the final product for today's build. We have decided, since this ended up taking so long, we will be building the grounds in another episode. We'll see whether or not Daniel's able to join us for that. But we've textured out pretty much everything. We also had an interesting idea about the walls. Instead of doing my typical back and forth texturing to give a more rough or weathered look, we decided that since this place would definitely is owned by a very rich and wealthy family, they have in fact regularly painted the walls to maintain their quality. However, shade from the roof would darken parts of the walls, so that's what we've implemented here, and you'll definitely be able to see that in some of the spots more obviously than others. But let me give you a quick tour of the newly textured and completed build. Starting off, we have the walls and the roof. You'll see the sun sort of coming up from, well, I suppose almost that angle. But the sun comes down, gets blocked by the roof here and then here, and that sort of loops around. We have in fact even textured the windows. You'll notice that there's a little bit of weathering there. And of course we've got some plant life, always necessary. Walls right here textured pretty much the same way as episode 12, if you remember that, from the brick walls, using a couple of different color blocks that match a similar color palette. Same with the roof here. You'll notice it's a bit mossy. Older roofs, it's just how it goes. Doesn't take very long. In fact, to the best of my memory, it only takes a year or two for it to really start to get mossy in a wetter climate. But we've got that all textured up and looking fantastic. Walls looking pretty spectacular as well, if I do say so myself. And then we'll go inside. There's not a whole lot to show inside. It's pretty much the same as it was before, but I'll give you a quick look at the inside of the walls here as well. These guys are all looking great on the inside, despite the unexpected texturing on the outside. Well, not really unexpected, but it looks just as weathered on the inside as it does on the outside for this much older tower, and I think that really suits the style of this build. Have also textured the walls and roof of this particular room. Anyway, that's all we have time for in today's episode. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and check out some of the other videos. Personal favorites of mine being episode 4 and episode 7 and episode 12. If you haven't seen those, do be sure to check those out. They're fantastic. Anyway, it's been a pleasure, and I'll see you in the next one.